Good morning. It's about 6 a.m. Yeah, 6:05 here in Florence, South Carolina. I'm about to have about a 500-mile trip back home to Lexington, Kentucky, and I figure I'd show you guys how to get back there and how easy it is to use the Tesla to show where the chargers are and make sure I get back in the most efficient time. So, let's take a look at the screen here. It is, 6:06 a.m. I already have 100% battery since I was using that charger right there to charge up last night. So all we have to do is go to, you know what, we already had the Bluegrass Airport right there in Lexington. We'll just use that because that'll get us close enough. So looks like we have 3 stops to make along the way. Maybe make a few extras for snacks, drinks, things like that. Alright. And it's directing us to the first stop, which is in Columbia. About an hour away, 70 miles away. So, until then, now I'm just driving for the next hour, and I'll turn on the camera when I get there. Let's do it. Check out that sunrise, though. So the first stop here is in Columbia, South Carolina. Just pulled in, plugged her up. Don't need to do anything. The payments go through my Tesla account, and that's connected to the vehicle. So the credit card that I have on file under the Tesla account gets charged. Looking at the screen here, this tells me pretty much all the info I need to know. I got 15 more minutes remaining of charge time to continue the trip. It tells me my next destination, Asheville, North Carolina. And if you see below it there, that says 0%. Meaning if I left right now, unplugged it and went, I would arrive there at exactly 0%. Probably not a good idea. In general, the car waits until you get to, I believe it's 20%, maybe 15 to 20%, before it tells you you're okay to go. That second number there, 35 minutes, tells me how long I'm going to need to charge at the Asheville, North Carolina station, along with my estimated arrival time, and then each subsequent stop after that. You can see that on the London, Kentucky one, it actually cuts it pretty close to 11%. And you might be asking, what happens if, say, you hit a ton of traffic, or you have to take a detour, or there's a ton of wind that causes you to use much more battery than anticipated? Well, the good thing is that, one, the car will reroute you to a closer supercharger to stop and charge in case it doesn't think you're going to make it. Or if there is literally no other charger available in the area that you will make it to, it will ask you to reduce your speed below, say, 70 miles per hour or 60 miles per hour to make it to that destination. Alright, let's look and see how much it cost me on this one. Probably not too much. It went from like 64% to 81%. So we'll go to charging. Yeah. $4.77 right now. In fact, we can go ahead and see how much is this per kilo. Actually, this is one of the more pricey ones. 36 cents per kilowatt hour. Around home, it's normally 32 to 34 cents. I've seen it much higher at around like 40 cents. Areas like Chicago, down near Panama City Beach, some of those higher traffic touristy areas and more densely populated areas have a much higher charge rate. Okay, there we go. We got 20, looks like we'll get 21%. All right, we're good to go. All right, pretty easy. I'm the only one out here this morning. God, yes, I love traffic. Let's see, still got about 33 minutes to go till we get to the Asheville Supercharger. Slowly making our way through. Cool. Right next to a Dillard's, one other guy here in a blue Model Y. Now between Asheville, North Carolina, where I'm at right now, and the London, Kentucky Supercharger, I'm going to stop in Knoxville, Tennessee. One, because I know where those Superchargers are. I've been around the areas, and there's some good options for food. And at some point, I'm going to need to eat some lunch. So that's the plan from here on out. We got about another 25 minutes before we're back on the road. Ooh, it is nice and sunny out here in Nashville. I like Asheville, North Carolina a lot right now. So this charger that I stopped at is here in a strip mall. It's right outside of a Dillard's. There's Oshkosh Bagosh. There's a Nike, Under Armour outlet. All those outdoor outlet shops you can walk around in. And this supercharging station has exactly 12 superchargers, so it can accommodate up to 12 vehicles. One of the things I want to bring up that you're not going to see in this video, because I'm traveling on an early Friday morning, early Friday afternoon to get back home, is that the superchargers are not always 100% available. Now, it's rare. There's usually always a charger available or a short wait. But one of the things that I found, particularly when traveling on a holiday weekend, think Memorial or Labor Day weekend, especially in heavily populated areas, or in areas where stopping along the way for a road trip is common. For example, I stopped in a nicer area of Nashwood. I think it was nicer area of Nashville, Brentwood, and I ended up having to wait behind, I think, 13 or 14 other Teslas that were in front of me to supercharge because it was Memorial Day weekend. I was on my way down for a buddy's bachelor party with a couple other people, and I thought, oh, this is great. There's a supercharger right next to the Costco. You can go load up on food and beer and drinks and beer and all sorts of different stuff, and I can let the car charge while we're out shopping, kill two birds with one stone. It's probably a good 45 minutes of them shopping around. They came back out, and I was still waiting to get a charger. So we ended up spending a couple hours there. No big deal. We made the best of it. That's one thing to be aware of. The chargers are available 24/7, but there's sometimes a wait just depending on how busy they are. And that's one of the things you can usually see in the app when you're using the GPS to find your destination. All right, check it out. Before we pull off here, I've spent cost was about $20 for this charge here in Asheville. Whoop, let me try to pull that up. Yeah, cost is about $20, took about 25-30 minutes. Took the battery from about 18% all the way up to 82%, so call it 60% and some change, a little over half a tank. Next up, Knoxville. Did I mention how much I love traffic? At least we got a nice view here in the Smoky Mountains. Brookview Town Center. Alright, there we go. This one is busy. Got one spot open, and it's the handicap one, so it looks like I'm gonna be parking in the handicap spot today. Back on the road again for about another 3 hours. That charge took the car from about 35% all the way up to almost 90. And The cost for that charge came out to be about $14-15, so not too bad. Since I decided to stop here in Knoxville and instead of going straight to London, Kentucky, I actually don't need to make that stop in London anymore. Instead, I'm just going to go straight home, and I should end somewhere around 20% of battery since it's about a 3-hour drive. I should have stayed in South Carolina. The weather here is rainy and it's cold. Ultimately, I decided to stop at the Supercharger here in town. I got back, realized I need to do some driving around town tomorrow morning, and if I went straight back to the apartment, I was probably only going to have about 20% battery. So I'm going to go ahead and top off around, well, not top off, but charge back up to about 50% and then hit up one of the other level 2 chargers sometime tomorrow afternoon. Just knock out some work at Whole Foods, something like that. I like Asheville, North Carolina. As soon as I get out of the car, it smells very earthy in the air. Huh. Maybe that's why.